Hello, everybody, and I hope you've had a great Saturday so far. I thought I'd quickly nip on and do another live hangout. I find this a great way of kind of putting up videos quickly. So I know the quality is not quite as good as when you record and edit and then upload to YouTube, but this is quite a kind of nifty way of doing it. I'm trying this on my laptop now, so hopefully this will work okay. Normally I use my PC for it, but anyway, just wanted to share a few things with you guys. A couple of pickups, a couple of sales. So I'll get straight into it basically. So um, it hasn't been the best week for sales, unfortunately. I don't know quite why. I'm still obviously building my store, so I have some days which are a lot better than others, and I've had a few decent weeks. But this week's been a little bit slower, but that could be for a number of reasons. And all I can do is just get my head down and keep listing, because that is the most important thing, really. The more items you've got listed, the better you will do. So what I'm going to do now is just share with you guys a couple of my recent sales since my last video. So if you bear with me, let me just see if this works properly. I'm going to just screen share a few items and see how that works out. Let me just get this going correctly. There we go. Okay, the first item I'm going to share with you guys that I sold is something that's probably quite readily available. I got this from one of my auction lots. Now, if you guys haven't already gotten into this, have a look into buying clothing at auctions, because you can pick up some pretty cool stuff even if it's used. The first item here I've got is an Adidas hoodie. It's a pretty simple item, nothing spectacular. It's got the blue logo on it. And let's have a look. It's just in, what size was it? It's a double XL hoodie, and you can see it's a pretty basic grey hoodie with the logo in blue all over it. Didn't get a huge amount of money for it. That could be due to the time of year, because obviously it is quite warm. It's getting quite humid now. And I got £15.99 for it. So that's the first item that I managed to sell. So I'm pretty happy with that. Now, it's not something that's going to be. It's not something that people are going to be that sort, kind of chasing after. So if you do see things like this at Boot Fair, pick them up. It's worthwhile. Adidas hoodies, Nike hoodies, things like that. They do well. Second item is of a similar vein as well. Again, I mean, these are a pair of Topshop shoes. They've got like a faux snake skin print on them. They're like Chelsea boots, you could call them. They just slip on. You can see they've got like a really big wedge heel on them. So ladies' shoe. They're like what size are they? Let's have a look. They're a size 38, which is a UK 5. And again, I got these from an auction job lot. They're not a spectacular looking item, however, got £20 for them. So you can't really knock it too much. Simple kind of item, and again, it's something that you could look out for in at the Boot Fair as well. Easy to spot. Now, one of the cool things about these is these are actually made in Italy. They do actually say that on the bottom sole. I think I did actually get a photo of the sole. It's really hard to kind of show actually, but just there they do say, just kind of where the heel is and the sole is, just at the bottom it does say made in Italy. Now, anything which says that is going to attract attention, and like I said, got rid of those for 20 quid, even though they're nothing spectacular. Now, next item is a Boot Fair find. I've talked about radios and such like before, and at 39.99, I think this is actually pretty good stuff. This I paid £6 for at the Boot Fair, which is pretty cheap. It's a Roberts DAB radio, which also has a CD player as well. So you can mouse over those different pictures. You can see it's like a little cube. Pretty cool. The CD player is at the top, as you can see in that last photo there. It's got FM, it's got like I said, it's a DAB, it's got an alarm, and I bought it for £6 and sold it for £40. So that in itself is a very good flip. Very happy with that. If you can pick up radios, DAB radios from Roberts, if you see them, snap them up. Sometimes you'll get them for quite cheap. I mean, this guy originally wanted £10, but he was happy to take 6 in the end, which I think is pretty good. And like I said, even at £10, if I bought it for 10 and sold it for 40, that's still very decent profit. So definitely look out for those. So even though it's a clock radio, not just a regular radio, anything with DAB on it is worthwhile picking up. Next item. Now, this is a little games bundle. I actually picked up a Nintendo GameCube with a bunch of games the other week for, I think it was £25, which is very good. I've just sold 2 of the games from that bundle for £20 there, which is Resident Evil and Resident Evil Zero. Not really a lot to say about that. You know, you come across these things, you know they've got value, and they sold very quickly, so very happy with that. Next item is also a boot fair item. Now, this is actually a really good one because I only paid, believe it or not, I only paid £5 for this PlayStation 3, which is fantastic. It's an 80 GB version of the PlayStation. I did actually get it all, test it all out, and it works beautifully. It's one of the older, fatter style PlayStations. So it's a much chunkier. This is sometimes known as the George Foreman PlayStation, like the George Foreman grill. So I paid a fiver and I flipped that for a whopping £60 minus postage and fees, obviously, but that's still very decent profit. Now onto my last couple of items. A pair of simple Nike running shoes have been worn. They do have some signs of wear on them, but nothing too bad. And you know, like I said, I got them in a job lot of trainers from Boot Fair, so from auction. So £15 is pretty good for that. I could have probably gotten a bit more if I'd waited a bit longer, but I'd had them already for a month, so I was happy to get 15 for them. And then the final item I've got to show you, from what I've sold, is a Sony CD player. Now, this is a bit of a peculiar one because there's no display on it. It's one of those which you used to have to control from like the display used to be on an inline remote. So I did mention that, so hopefully that has gotten through to the buyer. So it is in working order, and you can control the basic functions of the CD player from buttons on the unit, but there's no actual display. But sold that, I think I bought this for like £1.50, so I sold it for £16. So that is another really decent flip. So not many sales to show you guys, but that's my most recent. Those are my most recent sales since my last video. So some interesting stuff in there. I think the things to note would be obviously the Roberts radio, the PlayStation 3, things like that. Now, I popped out this morning as well. Now, where I am on Saturday, boot fairs are not very good. They're kind of tragic, really. Boot fair I went to today had like 3 lines. I actually went to 2. One of them just wasn't even a line. It was like in the school. It wasn't very good. But saying that, it's always worth going out because you never know what you're going to find, and today is no exception to that. The first thing I picked up was one of these VTech V Smiles. Now, these you will see languishing everywhere. Definitely worth it. I've actually picked this up for £3. Comes with a little controller. So it's got the wires to connect it to the telly, and it's got this little control pad as well, like a little joystick. Now, these games are like meant to be educational games, and you can see this has actually got like a little compartment. And I did actually get 3 games as well. So this was obviously for a little girl because the games are all. There's a Cinderella game, there's a Backyardigans game, and there's a Bob the Builder game as well. So I've got 3 games and the unit and the joystick for £3. I've previously sold something like this for around 20, but that had a mains charger. This does also run off a 3 C-size batteries, so it should still return a decent profit, assuming it's all working. I'm pretty sure it will do. These things are built pretty solidly, so that was my first pickup today. So £3 for that. I expect to hopefully get around 20 for that, but obviously there's no guarantees. Now, the second item I picked up was another small item, 50p for this Demi Goblin figure. I think it's Demo Goblin, or I think it's Demo Goblin. I'm not sure. Like a variation of the Hobgoblin. Now, these figures are always worth picking up. I had a quick look on his foot, and it said Hasbro and Marvel, and I wasn't entirely sure of what the character was. He's pretty gruesome looking. You can see he's got his tongue sticking out there, kind of ripped, torn cape. His feet are really cool as well. He's got like the pointy goblin shoes going on. Really nice figure, actually. Not a massive amount of value in these, but for 50 pence, you can't go wrong. And if you put it up and wait long enough, you could probably get around £8 to £10 for it, or you can bundle them, which might be a better option. So if you get a few Spider-Man figures to make like a Marvel action figure bundle, but 50p, you really can't go wrong, and they do return decent amounts. So that was the second item I picked up. Now, the third item I picked up was there was a guy. He was obviously, I'm not sure if he was a dealer or not, but he had like a lot of kind of console bits. He was there with his son, nice guy, and he had two copies of Double Dash on the Nintendo GameCube. Now I've seen these sell. He only had the discs only, and he wasn't budging on his price. It was asking £4 a disc. So because it was such a lame boot fair overall, like it was like a line, I didn't want to come away with nothing, and that's something you've got to be aware of. Sometimes you do have to keep your hands in your pocket, but on this occasion, I did decide to splurge out and spent £4 each on these. Now I have seen these go for about £12, and obviously postage is not going to be anything, so it's still some profit in those. So two of those I paid £8 for, so not the best, but I could get like £12 each back on them, so I'm kind of okay with that. Now, next item, I've got to test this out, but yet another CD player. Needs a bit of a clean. You can see it's a bit dirty there, but it's a very unique color. And I had a quick check in the battery compartment. It didn't look like it had been too badly treated. I'm hoping it's going to work okay. I paid £1.50 for this. Now I can't, I can't say enough. I mean, like I said, the boot fairs around where I am on Saturday are tragic. They're like the one I went to two. I went to one which was in a schoolyard, and it was barely a line. I think it was about 5 or 6 stalls there, and this one I went to had about 3 lines. So again, to still find this just sat there untouched, £1.50. That's going to be an easy £15, probably maybe more, because of the unique color. 15 to 20, I'd say, on that. So that's pretty cool as well. And also, I've got these games here. Paid £2 each for these, which isn't amazing because some of them are not that valuable. So Donkey Kong itself is not actually a particularly valuable title, but still, you can get about a tenner for it. Mario Galaxy 2 as well. That's £2 again. You can get about £12 for that. Maybe a tenner for Mario and a tenner for Zelda. So not bad. I mean, I could bundle them. I may actually try to sell them as a bundle to just get like a nice amount back. But paid £8 for all 4 of those, so that's not bad. So you can see so far I've shown you some pretty kind of low value items, but that's all there was today, and you've got to get what you can. And like I said, £8 for that, £1.50 odd for that, 50 pence for that. The VTech is pretty good, £3 for that lot. Now, the best thing, however, obviously I've got the Mario Kart Double Dash as well. However, the best thing I've got now, this is really cool. This is why it's always worth going out. Now, I mentioned that one of the boot fairs I went to literally had about 5 or 6 stalls. Now, one of the stalls was this old guy who was just getting rid of, he had like a bunch of pocket watches and things. Now, fortunately, I don't know much about that, but I knew there was value there that I was losing out on. But he also had this sat there, which is fantastic. This is a Sony Walkman, a real vintagey piece. Now, this is the WM190, made in Japan. It's good quality. You can just tell from the build of it. It is really nice. The mechanism works absolutely fine as well. You press it and it just pops open. You can see that it's got the serial number in there and everything. Really nicely built. They don't make these like they used to. And the nice thing is, these would have originally taken a gumstick battery, but the gumstick battery would have worn out. I don't actually know if it's in there. It's not actually in there. Gumstick battery is no longer there. But this is a lifesaver. This is actually like the battery attachment. And what you do is you stick a AA battery inside of here, and that will allow you to. Let's have a look. He's actually got a battery in there, but it's probably dead. So this will actually allow you to power the Walkman. So I'm going to test that out at some point. Actually, I don't think I've got battery up here. Actually, I do, which is fantastic. And now this thing cost me £1. He only asked £1 for it, which was absolutely fantastic. There's not many I've seen sell on eBay. However, I've seen one sell on Buy It Now for 34.99, I think. So 35 quid is pretty good. So let's have a look. I don't know if this actually works or not. It's working. It's making a clicking. Yep, it's definitely working. Yep, fantastic. So that is brilliant news. You can hear it motoring on and stuff. I think I've actually got a tape here, Eagles there on cassette. Let me just see if I can pop it open and get it to function. Okay, tape goes in nicely. Press play. Okay, maybe just rewind it. Okay. Yep, that seems to be working fine. It's playing the cassette absolutely fine. I'm very happy with that. So that has turned out to be the find of the day. So like I said, sorry for that little kind of waste of time there while I was fiddling around with the Walkman. But yeah, I paid £1 for this, and this is going to be my buy of the day. So in a really dead area, dead boot fair, Sony WM190 made in Japan. That's going to sell for at least about £35. So I'm very happy with that. So I mean, it just shows that it's worth popping out there and seeing if there is kind of just making sure that you're getting anything that is available, really just making sure that you're not missing out on anything. So hopefully tomorrow's going to be a nicer day, but overall I'd say I've got a decent haul of stuff here. So like I only picked up one, two, three, four, about five items, 5 or 6 different separate job lots of items. But they're going to return a decent profit for me. So that was really it. Thanks for you guys watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I will definitely reply to them as quickly as possible. But just get out there, keep looking. Even in the most kind of dire circumstances, sometimes you can find some little gems. Even though I've not had a massive haul here, it's still something, and it's something that will return decent profits, and that's obviously quite important. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I did show for you guys that like joining the stream now, I did show some of the items that I sold since my last video. So obviously check out this broadcast once it goes onto my YouTube channel fully. But thanks for watching. Leave your comment section below, and I'll get back to them as soon as possible. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. Obviously, hope the weather's nice tomorrow. That's nice. Oh, okay, nothing major, but it's a control pad, but still. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.